Spider-Man Noir is one of the darkest and most brutal versions of Spider-Man ever created, and with Nicolas Cage attached to star in an upcoming series from Amazon, this gritty reimagining is gaining major attention. Unlike the traditional Spider-Man, who is colorful, witty, and hopeful, Spider-Man Noir exists in a bleak 1933 New York drowning in corruption, political tension, and rising fascist ideology. Set between World War I and World War II, the story unfolds during the Great Depression when economic inequality is extreme and Nazi influence is beginning to infiltrate America. The city is cold, snow-covered, and morally decayed. The rich grow richer while the poor suffer, and the entire system from politicians to law enforcement is corrupt. This version of Spider-Man is not about high school struggles or light-hearted crime fighting. It is about survival, resistance, and confronting organized crime rooted deep within the establishment. In this universe, Norman Osborn is not a corporate scientist but a ruthless crime boss known as the Goblin. He controls city officials, owns the police force, and runs a powerful criminal syndicate. His enforcers include twisted versions of classic villains such as Kraven, an animal trainer with savage instincts, Vulture, portrayed as a terrifying half-man predator, and Chameleon, a master of disguise who plays a critical role in manipulating the media. Osborn's Goblin identity is not just symbolic. Beneath his artificial face lies reptilian skin, and he fully embraces his monstrous nature. Uncle Ben's death in this storyline is far more horrifying than the classic mugging. After standing up against Osborn's criminal empire, he is brutally beaten and ultimately devoured by Vulture. The crime is staged to resemble a wild animal attack, hiding the truth from the public. This savage murder becomes the emotional catalyst that pushes Peter Parker toward a darker path of vengeance and justice. Peter gains his powers through a mystical and disturbing event involving a smuggled spider idol tied to dark magic. When the idol shatters, thousands of spiders are released. One bites Peter, triggering a vision of a massive spider entity that tells him it kills only those with evil intent and that the power it grants is a debt. When Peter awakens, he is cocooned in black webbing and transformed. Even his webs are jet black, reinforcing the noir aesthetic and symbolic darkness surrounding this version of the character. The corruption extends to the press. Jonah Jameson appears to run the Daily Bugle, but it is eventually revealed that he has been replaced by Chameleon. The real Jameson is imprisoned, while false narratives are published to support Osborn's regime. This twist adds a strong conspiracy element, showing how deeply the criminal empire manipulates public perception. Felicia Hardy, who operates a nightclub called the Black Cat, plays a morally complex role in the story. Unlike the flirtatious anti-hero seen in mainstream comics, this version is pragmatic and hardened by survival. She navigates relationships with powerful men to protect herself and secretly preserves evidence against Osborn. Ultimately, she places her trust in Peter, handing him the proof needed to challenge the crime syndicate, while warning him never to trust anyone completely. One of the most shocking aspects of Spider-Man Noir is his willingness to use lethal force. When Vulture threatens Aunt May, Peter does not rely solely on agility or clever tactics, he uses a gun. This decision sets him apart from nearly every other version of Spider-Man. He breaks bones, unleashes brutal beatings, and allows enemies to die if necessary. Even Aunt May questions his choices, criticizing him for abandoning nonviolence and the ideals a hero should represent. The final confrontation with Osborn is savage and chaotic. Kraven is overwhelmed and killed by a swarm of spiders after Peter shatters a containment chamber. Osborn's artificial face is ripped away, revealing his reptilian goblin form beneath. Gunfire, webbing, and sewer battles culminate in Osborn and Kraven falling into the depths, presumed dead. Yet, true to noir storytelling, nothing feels entirely resolved or clean. The narrative also hints at future dangers, including the emergence of Dr. Octopus, suggesting that Otto Octavius has received approval for a mysterious underwater mission. This tease indicates that the dark reimagining of Spider-Man's rogues gallery is far from over. Spider-Man Noir stands in stark contrast to the traditional hero audiences know. Instead of optimism, he embodies moral ambiguity. Instead of bright colors, he operates in shadow. Instead of quips, he delivers vengeance. If the upcoming Amazon adaptation captures the political tension, brutality, and psychological depth of this storyline, it could become one of the boldest and most mature interpretations of Spider-Man ever brought to live action. Subscribe to SuperHeroPro on YouTube as well. Thanks.